Hey, my name is Nelson. I'm going by Bars from Mars on this YouTube channel. The reason why I created this YouTube channel is I turned 28 a little over a month ago, and I've learned more in the last 10 years of being out of high school than I have, throughout this whole time of education, systematic education that they teach you in public schools. I'm not going to speak for anyone else, but the educational background that I got was very, very poor. We barely had textbooks. We had more money for metal detectors than we did for things like, books and things that we needed, and good teachers and all that stuff. But I'm not here to make excuses. Point blank, did not learn what I needed to learn from the school system, and I went to college for 2 years. I ended up dropping out because I knew that wasn't going to give me what I wanted. Ever since I was very little, 4 or 5 years old, I remember specifically watching the Spanish news with my parents, Univision, and they did a report on the Lamborghini Diablo, a yellow one. I'll never forget it. And they said how much it cost, and the car cost $400,000. And this was back then, in the 90s. And I was a little kid, and it didn't take a genius to know that was a lot of money, more than a house cost. And my parents are both they both came over here to this country as immigrants, so I'm a first generation immigrant, and they never really made more than $30,000 a year, in their jobs throughout this whole time that they've been here working. And I don't want to, at a young age, I always knew that I didn't want to be working till I was 50, 55, 60, 65 years old, working paycheck to paycheck and not knowing how one catastrophe away from being homeless or, being in the streets and stuff. So I always knew that I wanted more to life. I always wanted big things. I've always been a big dreamer. And my whole life, I always knew that I could do something amazing in this world. I just had no idea what that was or whatever. And as I got older, I started meeting people, started experiencing things. But I quickly realized that school and the system that's in place now of going to school and paying, taking out a loan for most cases and being anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 worth of debt in college school loans. And the way that they set those loans up too is a scam, in my opinion, because they kill you with the interest. If you pay the bare minimum on the monthly payments, you'll be paying that off, well up to your 40, 50 years old, for something that took 4 years of your life to get. And then that doesn't even guarantee you a job in your field or anything like that. There are many people statistically that are doing good because they went to school and they got these careers, but at the end of the day, I feel like any time that you you put a cap, like a salary cap, like if you take salary from someone, whether it be 100,000, even 150,000, they can ask you to work more than you're giving them, and they don't have to pay you a penny more. So we call those the golden handcuffs. They got you locked up. They make you feel good, and the salary that they give you makes you forget about your dreams that you had when you were little. Because when you're little, your imagination is just flourishing, and it's not until you start hitting the real world and real society that you start realizing that, the world's not all, dandy and flowers and everything's nice and everything's cool. You need money to pay bills. You need money to live. You can't survive in this planet without having some type of money to put food in your mouth, to put water in your belly. Everything costs something, and unfortunately here in this country or anywhere, if you get sick, you need money to not be sick. You need money for a roof. You need money for food. So, you need money to if you want to live a better than average lifestyle, you need to make more money. The problem is the way that they teach us to make this money is not something that's duplicatable on the grand scale for everyone. You're all theoretically in any type of job place for one manager position. You're fighting your coworkers for that one position. And when your manager gets promoted or he gets fired, demoted, dies, retires, whatever the case may be, it's many people fighting for one spot. You know, and then even if you have 5 really good qualified candidates, there's only one spot. So 4 other good candidates, no matter how long you've been there, no matter how much time you devoted, how many birthdays of your kids you gave up, these companies don't care. At the end of the day, every company, their only thing they care about is the bottom line, how much profit they make. And in most cases, they can't increase their sales, so what they do is cut your salary, or they cut the highest paid guy. I've seen it everywhere I've been for jobs. They always cut the older guy. They'll find someone cheaper that'll do the same job for a lot less, and they'll get rid of the older guy. And you know, they sacrifice so much for to be there. So I saw this all throughout my childhood and growing up, and I just knew that it wasn't for me. The problem was I knew that I wanted to be a millionaire and successful and everything. The problem was I didn't have a vehicle. I didn't know how. So you know, went to college for 2 years, kind of just freelanced. It took courses that I thought were important, that I thought would help me. Took some economic classes, some finance classes, and I learned some things. I'm not gonna say I didn't, but at the end of the day, it wasn't gonna give me what I needed to take my life to the level that I wanted. And you know, ended up meeting a lot of people recently in my life where, you know, they're doing phenomenal in life. They're making residual income in the 7 figures steadily. Don't have to work for a boss, don't have to do any of that. And the beautiful thing about the generation that we live in now, and the time that we live in now, is that you don't really need to be, you know, talented or extremely smart or 1 out of a million to build something for yourself. The internet has given us all the access and the power that we need to build something, you know, whether it be selling a network, a company of selling water bottles, or selling oranges. It doesn't matter what it is. At the end of the day, as human beings, we will always exchange goods and services. Like, in order to get something, you have to give something. So back then, before there was money, if I wanted you to give me a piece of your hunt that you just hunted, and I was hungry, I would have to do something for that. If I didn't have anything of value to offer you, I would have to give you a service. You know, like you know, maybe wash your clothes. I don't know. Like, I didn't live in that time, but I'm just giving you an example. And times have changed now. Now we have currency. Now there's even digital currency. There's all types of stuff. But technology is the key to put yourself in a position to build something for your family. So, you know, I dropped out of school. I started looking for people that had what I wanted in life. And I started reading books. And in the last 2 years, I've learned so much just from changing my association. You know, all the people that I grew up with, all the people that I went to school with, 10 years later, they're still doing the same thing. You know, and my life, the reason I'm doing this video and the reason why I'm starting this channel is because I want to share all this knowledge and secrets and keys to life that I wish I knew when I was 18, and there were things that I was looking for. So if this information was given to me, you know, when I was 18 years old, I would be in a totally different situation right now. You know, easily already a millionaire. My goal is to be a millionaire by 30 years old. I'm still 2 years away, but the pressure is there. The time is ticking, you know. Time don't wait for nobody. And we all got the same amount of time in the day, and it matters what you do with it, you know. But one thing that I have noticed is that a lot of people are really stuck in their own heads. We have demons in our own heads, you know. We have demons inside of us that neg us out, and they tell us that we can't, and they spread doubt instead of spreading love and encouragement, you know. And today, while I make this video, I'm actually officially off of my depression medication. I was on Zoloft, Centraline, for almost a year, and I was going through a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of personal stuff. We had a critical moment in my life where, you know, I I was sleeping for most of the day, 18 hours a day, sleeping, being in bed, just not wanting to be alive, wondering if this was all worth it, you know. And I never actually contemplated like taking my own life, but the thought, the doubt was always there. That voice was always there, very loud in my ear, telling me that I wasn't worth anything and that life was pointless, you know. And the medication helped me get, you know, find myself again. And I don't want to depend on something to make me feel better. So I always knew that it was just temporary, you know, while I fixed myself up. And now I'm very grateful to be off of it, and, you know, no withdrawal side effects or anything like that. I don't need it anymore. I'm very happy in my life right now. Things couldn't be going any better right now, you know, financially, with my workplace, with my businesses, with everything that I'm doing in my life. Everything's going phenomenal, and I'm very grateful for that. But it all starts here and here. You know, like, you have to believe in yourself. You have to tell yourself every day that, yes, like, today's gonna be an amazing day, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make my dreams come true. And that's what makes me feel alive. And, you know, I'm very grateful that that I have the association that I have, the mentorship, the people in my circle that want me to win, that love me genuinely as a person, and not by the amount of money I have in my bank account or the amount of money that I make. They love me for who I am. They accept me for who I am. And at the end of the day, that's how it should be, you know. It doesn't matter, like, you know, what you do, what you drive. All that stuff is materialistic, but it matters what you do while you're here. So yes, then I do want to become rich to get the yellow Lamborghini and the mansions and all those nice lifestyle perks. But the real reason why I want to build wealth is to build a legacy for my family, where 5 generations down, my name rings bells to my own family. They're gonna say, hey, great great granddaddy, you know, he built an empire out of nothing, and because of him, everyone's life, you know, up in the generation and down in the generation, was better because he lived. And not just my own family, but the world. There's so much evil and so much hate and violence and ignorance going on in the world that it's all pointless, you know. And I feel like it all stems from your inner self, of not being at peace with yourself and believing yourself. And everyone's always looking over their shoulders to see what the next person's got, when they should just be looking at what they have themselves and what you're blessed to have, you know. So it's just crazy. Like, I'm really into, I want to be able, I'm a very big dreamer, so some of my goals are to build foundations where, on the state to state basis and then country to country basis, where we help homeless people get back on their feet, get their lives back. Because a lot of these people that they're homeless, that they lost everything, yeah, some of them, they chose to, their bad decisions led to that. But some people had no choice, you know. Waking up with one day with cancer that you can't afford to fix or treat, and puts you in life threat, that takes your house away and all that, then that's out of your control, man. Like, that's something that someone should be out there, a guardian angel, be out there helping you. So I want to have so much money that I'm able to fund animal shelters, rescues, you know, saving people in need. I've always had a calling in my heart to help the little person, you know, to help the person that can't defend themselves, or speak for the people that can't speak for themselves. There's a lot of people out there that don't believe in themselves, and they don't even believe in themselves to defend themselves, to live. And that's what I want to give the people back, is the will to live. Life is beautiful. There's so much things that you can do to make someone else's life better, and that will make you feel like $1 million. Better than driving a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, anything like that. That's a temporary high. But changing somebody's life, taking someone from nothing, and helping them build something where their life is now positively impacted for forever, that's something you can never, you take that to your grave. You know, everything else materialistic, when you die, is gonna stay here. If you have no relatives to give that stuff to, that stuff's just gonna sit there forever. You know, and it's not really worth anything. It's just things that that the system puts into your mind. Because the way that it works, the system works is like this. And that's what I want to get back to the video of secrets that I would tell myself that when I was 18, that I wish I knew, that would dramatically change my life, you know. So if there's any 18-year-olds out there watching this video and you take notes and you try to understand where I'm coming from and what I mean, these things, if you apply them, can change your life and change your future and give you much needed hope and motivation and the push you need to hit your goals and accomplish your dreams. Anything that you want to do, you can do. Realistically, let's think about that, right? Look how many things have been created out of nothing. Facebook, YouTube, Uber, Netflix, all these things were once ideas. Just to name a few. All these things were, like, even like a car, right? At some point, a car did not exist. At some point, somebody created a car in their mind and they applied themselves and created a real life vehicle that we're now all driving. So yes, you can literally do anything you want. You can do that, but you have to believe yourself. You have to be willing to do anything it takes. And most importantly, you have to be willing to fail and fail and fail and fail. And this is my first YouTube video, so it's probably going to come out, you know, not so good. And that's okay. I'm going to fail and fail and fail. And then one day, you're all going to call it an overnight success. When it won't be. It'll be grinding, hours of failing and grinding and trying again and going back to the drawing board. That's what successful people do. That's what I've been shown by the people that I'm around. I have a lot of multimillionaires in my circle that I know. I'm not a millionaire yet, you know, but just by association, if you hang out with 5 losers, you're the 6th. And if I hang out with 5 millionaires, I may not be a millionaire right now, but I'll be the 6th in no time. If I keep my eyes and ears and my everything open, just ready to learn and adapt and go and run with it, you know. But I'm not gonna give you all the secrets in one video. I do want you guys to let me know what you want me to talk about. I'll try to be as consistent as I can, depending on how many likes, subscribes, comments I get. Any comment that I get or the suggestion on to talk about next, whether it be budgeting, financing, investing, anything with finances, with staying motivated, staying positive, putting your head down to work, to grind for your dream, anything, just put it in there. But the way that the system works is when you're 18 years old, anyone that went to college, have you noticed that when you're, the first couple of days, there's always some ladies with at a table with a credit card company and they're waiting to sign you up? I can guarantee you that a lot of you have done that. You signed up like, oh, I'm 18 now, I can sign up for a credit card, and you get approved right then and there, but they make it seem like this is money. It's not money, it's debt, and the whole idea of the whole system of American capitalism is from the moment that you turn 18 years old to the moment that you die, to keep you in debt, always paying interest. Okay, so when you go to a bank, think about it like this: a bank is a business. A bank is not a government entity like that's there to really protect your best interest. When you put your money in the bank, you're putting it there. They're giving you, if you're lucky, 1% a year, which if you divide the 1% APR by 12 months, that's what your interest rate that you're getting on your money is. They're giving you less than 1% a month for your money, and then they're taking that money and selling it to somebody else for 5% over 5 years, which doesn't sound like much, but if you actually do the math, the interest that you're paying on that 5-year loan at 5% is 25% over the long term. So people just get, the banks and the system is wired to scam people, right? While they're like right in front of your face, they're stealing from you, and you don't even know it, and they smile in your face, So yes, I do keep my money in a bank, but I keep it in a bank that pays me, 2% or more on my money just for keeping it there. You know, I try to, if I'll find another bank that pays me more than that for the APR, I will move my money. At the end of the day, you never want your money to stay still. If any type of money you have saved up, you want it to build interest. You want it to compound. That's the way that millionaires create wealth. They create multiple streams of income. And that's what they don't teach you in school. They just teach you to go to school, get a job. That's one stream of income. But you're one person. You can only work so many hours. Okay? So, for example, a doctor goes to school for 7+ years. They have $300,000 worth of college debt. And then they have to intern. They sacrifice at least 10 to 15 years of their life, of their prime, to do this. And then they're making really good money, but at the end of the day, they're not bringing home much because they're paying off school loans that they owe. You know, so the system is really all screwed up. And the way that millionaires create wealth is by getting multiple streams of income. So if you have a job, that's fine. But get a job, then find something that you can invest your money in that you have saved up. Well, second of all, you have to budget. Okay, that's another thing that they don't teach you in school is how to budget. A zero balance based budget where you take how much you make every 2 weeks in your paychecks after taxes and you add up every expense that you have that it costs to live. Your Netflix, your cell phone, your gas, your insurance, your car, all your food, all that stuff. You add all that up and then you see how much you make on a month-to-month basis and you see if you're in the red or in the green. If you're making profit or if you're losing money. You know, that's a good way to know how your finances are. If you can pay all your bills and everything budgeted out with your money, you have money left over on a month-to-month basis, you're in the green. You can now start a savings. And with the savings, you should take the money and invest it into something, stocks, peer-to-peer lending. That's something that I just recently found out about that is actually pays a lot more return than a stock. And it is risky, obviously. In any type of investment and anything in life where you're going to make money, there's always risk. Okay, so if you're the type of person that's scared of making risk and scared of losing money, being rich is not for you. Every rich person in the world has lost money at some point. Okay, but what they did was learn and they moved on and they learned from their failures and then they failed and then they finally succeeded. They found out what they were missing. So there's different streams of income. The reason why I want to create this YouTube channel is because I want to create another source of income. I already have a few. I want to have a few more. I want to have at least 7. So if I can get this up to, you know, a good amount of subscribers and people give me feedback and they like and they share and they want more knowledge and they want me to share more, then I'll be more than happy to talk about anything, you know, and just to create another source of income. Because at the end of the day, financial freedom is what helps you to have options in life. You know, if you have $1 billion in the bank right now, you can do anything. You can go anywhere. If you want to go on a jet to, you know, right now to go, you could do it. You don't even have to pack. You'll go buy new stuff at the new place. You know, but I've been rambling a little bit too long, and I don't want to give all the good information in one video, so you know, just talked about that, having more streams of income, investing. There's real estate. There's a bunch of things. The problem is that you don't have most people, 90% of America doesn't have enough money to invest into things that can create them wealth. You know, so that's what I wanted to share with people as well. Is that there's different ways of doing it, and the best way to start is by finding something that costs the least amount. Because every business opportunity, there's overhead. Overhead is the cost of doing business. So basically, if I own a lemonade stand, my cost of doing business is the lemonade powder, the water. Well, if you want to have good filtered water, the water, the pitcher, the cups, the sign. You know, and if I have a rental, if I'm renting a spot where I'm selling the lemonade, that's part of my overhead. So this is cost of running business, and then whatever you generate, if you're making less than you're spending, you're not a good business. It's just not gonna happen. You know, so the main issue with most of society is I see myself as a business. I know I am a person, I'm a human being, but I run my finances, my budget, my life like as if I were a walking, talking business. So every month I have to make more than I spent in order for me to be on track with my finances. Okay, and that's what most people don't do. So that's how they get you with the credit card when you sign up for school. You think, I have $3,000 on this thing, it's good money, I have some time to pay it back, it's not that much. Then you start swiping away, you hit $3,000 and you max out your card, and you can't afford to pay it, so you're taking minimum payments, and you stretch out the minimum payments for a few years. All of a sudden that $3,000 expense that you had, that purchase you had, now just went from $3,000 to $6,000 because you paid $3,000 in interest. And that's what they don't teach people. Live below your means. If you only make $40,000 a year, don't spend. You literally can't afford to go clubbing every weekend. It makes no sense. Like, I don't understand. Actually, I do understand. I can have a general idea of how their finances look. Their credit cards are high. A lot of late payments. No one's gonna give you, like, in this country, you need credit to do stuff. To take a car out, you need credit. To get a house, you need credit. To get anything, you need credit. So if you mess up your credit right out the gate, you're ruining your life. So let me know any feedback. Let me know, if you agree, disagree, you like, you don't like, whatever it is. Let me know what it is, guys. And if you like it, if I get enough likes or views or whatever on this, I'll do another one. Thank you.